Hello to everybody. Today I'm talking about why not every job is right for you. Nowadays, it's a crisis happening in modern work culture because we are between an old culture and a new one that we cannot understand fully. People are confused most of the time because they think like this: they have degrees, they have promotions, they have respectable titles, and yet something feels fundamentally off. It's a kind of subtle erosion of vitality and motivation. And that's why people say, we are burnout, we need better boundaries, you need a new mindset. Sometimes it's true, but from the Hellenistic perspective, especially using the tropical zodiac and whole sign system, misalignment at work is often structural, not emotional. Not every job is wrong because you lack resilience. Some jobs are wrong because they contradict your astrological design. And Hellenistic astrology, unlike modern career coaching, doesn't reduce vocation to a single placement. It treats work as part of a larger architecture of temperament, fate, timing. Let's see the architecture. The first illusion: career is just the 10th house. In modern astrology, career discussions often begin and end with the midheaven. In Hellenistic astrology, that's incomplete. Vocation is assessed through a network of factors. Okay, the 10th household size system, so it's the public area. The ruler of the 10th house, the midheaven degree that can fall in the 9, 10, or 11 house is not fixed in 10 all the time. The second house that are about livelihood and sustenance and how you value yourself, because this is very important nowadays. Also, the lot of spirit, because here it's about calling, a lot of fortune, circumstance and material flow. The sect, due to the day or night chart, planetary dignity and condition, temperament, timing techniques, annual perfection, zodiacal releasing. If these layers contradict each other, internal friction is developing. And if this friction and stress inside continues long enough, burnout follows. So the first reason not every job is right for you is simple. Your chart is more complex than a job title. Then it's about temperament, the foundation of career sustainability. Hellenistic astrology begins with temperament because it's determined energy output, social tolerance, stress resilience, speed of decision making, emotional processing style, recovery capacity. For core temperamental tendencies often appear in the chart. So we have 4 kinds of temperamental tendencies often appear in the chart. For example, choleric. It's combination between hot, dry, Sun, Mars emphasizes. So this kind of temperament thrives in competition, leadership, emergency, high stakes, and the struggle in slow bureaucracy, passive roles, endless deliberation. So if you are this kind of temperament, you need to initiate. The second one is melancholic, combination between cold and dry. It's about Saturnian emphasizes. And this type thrives in long-term research, mastery, systems, solitude, and is struggling constant networking, chaotic environments, emotional volatility. Then the third one is sanguine, combination between hot and moist, Jupiter-Venus combination. Thrives in collaboration, visibility, variety, movement. And they struggle in repetitive insolation, hyper-rigid structures. The fourth temperament is phlegmatic, cold, moist combination with the moon emphasizes, and is thriving in stable rhythm, supportive environments, emotional safety, and it struggles in aggressive performance metrics, constant uncertainty. So you need, first of all, to realize which kind of combination of temperament do you have. Because not all the time it's an absolute one. Maybe it's a mix of two temperaments, and it depends of the environment, education, many other external factors. So when temperament and job environment clash, no productivity hack will fix it. You can discipline yourself into tolerating misalignment, but you cannot permanently override temperament. This is very important. This is suppose that you know yourself very well. This it means that you have time to know your inner world and to recognize, to be open and sincere with yourself, to not lie yourself about what you can do, what you like to do. The 10th house, it's about action, not identity. Shows public action and reputation. But it's a nuance here. The 10th house shows what you do publicly. It doesn't not automatically show what fulfills you. The ruler of the 10th house tells the deeper story. If the ruler of the 10th house falls in, for example, the 6th house, it means career feels labor-intensive or served-oriented fields. In the 8th house, work involves other people resources, crisis, or transformation. That's why I saw many people that have the ruler of 10th house in the 8th, or they are working in financial fields, bank, insurance, pension, investments, but also they can work in some research, but also in fields that are taboo. For example, if the ruler of the 10th house is in the 12th, work happens behind the scenes or in isolation. Laboratory, composing music, stay in the studios, but also hospitals, prison, whatever. Yeah. But also can be a spiritual work, retreats, whatever, to develop your inner world. But if the ruler of the 10th house is in the 5th house, it's about creativity that should become visible. And also activities that are linked with entertainment, theater, pedagogy, I mean work with children, young people. But if the ruler of the 10th is in the 2nd, public identity intertwines with income. A career can look impressive from the outside while feeling draining internally, especially if the ruler is in detriment, fall, combust, or under malefic pressure. The midheaven is where the ambition is pointing. In whole sign system house, the MC degree may fall outside the 10th house. So if MC falls in the 9th house, it's about teaching, publishing, philosophy, law. Traveling, if it's in the 10th house, is direct public ambition. If it's in the 11th, it's about networking, audience, community-based success. Many people feel career dissatisfaction because they honor their 10th house sign, but ignore where the MC is pulling ambition. You may be capable of management, but if your MC is in the 9th house, your soul wants meaning, not just authority. When it's about a lot of spirit, it's about where calling lives. The lot of spirit reveals intentional direction, where your will wants to go. If spirit contradicts your 10th house, tension appears. For example, if you have a lot of spirit in Sagittarius, Maybe you want teaching, expansion, vision, traveling. You are all the time want to gather information, to know everything. But if the lot of spirit is in Virgo, you want craft, precision, technical refinement. But if it's in Scorpio, you need depth, power, transformation. If your career activates visibility but not lot of spirit, you may feel competent yet unmotivated. When lot of spirit is ignored long term, people describe their lives as successful but hollow. But what I want to say, these lots are calculated due to that you are very sure about your natal chart. So if you do not know exactly your hour and minute of the birth, the lots are not calculated correctly. Even the ascendant rising sign is not calculated correctly. If you need a rectification, I will let below a link where you can order the rectification. Then it's about sect. So you can have day chart with sun above the horizon or night chart sun below the horizon. And this changes how Mars and Saturn operate. In the day charts, Saturn is more constructive and Mars is more difficult. In night charts, Mars is more constructive and Saturn is more difficult. A night chart person may thrive in high-pressure emergency work. A day chart person with the same Mars placement may burn out. So the job isn't universally wrong. It's wrong relative to sect. When it's about second house, shows livelihood. Sometimes the 10th house promises recognition, but the second house struggles financially. Sometimes the second provides stability, while the 10th house lacks prestige. This creates the classic conflict, security versus passion. Astrology often reveals that careers unfold in stages. Is the phase one builds stability, and you are looking to the second house. The phase 2 builds meaning, is the lot of spirit and 10th house alignment. For example, the 6th house and the 12th house, it's about hidden friction. The 6th house shows labor and grind. The 12th house shows isolation and hidden effort. If your career ruler falls into either house, work may feel heavier than expected. This doesn't mean failure. It means the career requires conscious management of health, rest, and boundaries. When it's about timing, annual perfections activate different houses each year. When the 10th house is activated in annual perfection, it means more visibility, and you need to take action to be more active. When the 12th house is activated by annual perfections, it means retreat, rest, work with yourself. If the second house is activated, it means to restructure your finances, to regain the relationship with the money and values in your life, especially how you value yourself. Zodiacal releasing from a lot of spirit can show an entire career path. Sometimes a job isn't wrong, it's a complete, and the completion often feels like dissatisfaction. You can succeed in the wrong career. High competence masks misalignment. Many people stay in careers they are excellent at because external validation compensates for internal depletion. But alignment feels different. It feels like effort without resignment, growth without identity erosion. Also, it's important to look to your rising sign because there is a career archetypes for each one. For example, Aries rising needs authority and upward mobility. Taurus rising thrives in stable, sustainable systems. Gemini rising requires intellectual variety. They get bored very fast. Cancer rising needs autonomy despite emotional sensitivity. Leo rising requires visible value creation and capacity to motivate their self and other people. They are leaders. Virgo rising needs mental engagement and skill diversity. Libra rising thrives in relational environments. Scorpio rising needs depth and control. Sagittarius rising requires meaning and practicality. Capricorn rising grows through strategic alliances. Aquarius needs reform and transformation with impact in society. Pisces rising requires expansion and inspiration. There are not limitations, they are design principles. And also you need to look on the ruler of the rising sign, because it's important in which sign it is, which house, what aspect is formed, and everything that I have been talking about, dignity, sect, and whatever. Not every job is right for you because your temperament is specific. Your sect changes how pressure feels. Your 10th house shows public action. Your lotus spirit shows calling. Your 2nd house shows sustainability. Your timing shifts chapters. Your ascendant ruler must be honored. And when you understand this kind of structure, career becomes less about chasing opportunity and more about aligning architecture. Alignment is not something dramatic. It is the path of stabilization. And stability in a world addicted to hustle is revolutionary. And now is the best time to do this because everything will be changed. And now we have the opportunity to align with ourselves. I'm waiting your questions and comments down below. And see you next time. Bye-bye.